On ABC One tonight, Stephen Fry in Kingdom, a troubling cold case in New Tricks, and the series final of Outcasts.
Welcome to Live Rugby League. Today in Queensland Cup Round 16, the Burleigh Bears host South Logan Magpies at Pizzy Park, Miami on the Gold Coast. Hello, I'm Warren Boland. Welcome to a day where we have grey, drizzly skies above on the Gold Coast, but a good clash coming up this afternoon between teams placed 6th and 5th on the ladder, so it should be a ding-dong battle between Burleigh and South Logan. If we have a look, first of all, at last week's results, you'll see that the Pride and Burleigh played a 25-all draw. Redcliffe were too good for the Sunshine Coast, 10-6. South Logan too good for East, 24-14. Tweed Heads continued on their merry winning way, 34-20 over the Central Comets. Ipswich had a big win over Mackay, 56-10, and Wynnum Manly smashed North, 54-10. We had one match last night to commence this round 16. The Northern Pride were too good for the Sunshine Coast, 20-10. So the ladder, Tweed Heads on top on 29 points, then Redcliffe 24, Northern Pride 22, Ipswich 18, and there's South Logan in 5th place, also on 18 points, ahead of Burleigh 6th on 16. Chasing that top 6, Wynnum Manly on 13 and Mackay on 13. I guess Central Comets can still make it, but they need to start stacking the wins together. East, Norths and Sunshine Coast bringing up the rear. With me today are David Wright and Gavin Payne. And David, look, what can we make of this Burleigh side first of all?
Well, once again, they're walking the tightrope. Unbelievably, the last 6 years, Burleigh have missed the finals by about 1 point. Sometimes they've even been equal with the last place semi-finals, but missed on for and against. And once again this year, as you can see from the table that Warren just showed you, they are just in the 6. It's a precarious position, and they'll need to certainly hit a bit of form in the next few weeks. They're actually coming off 2 losses and a draw, so they've had a bit of a lull mid-season. They'll need to improve on that particular performance if they're going to go on with the job from here. But they are a good side. They've had a horrific run with injuries. They really have been troubled by injury, but they are starting to get a couple of players back, and Scotty Smith, the captain, will play in the number 6 today, and Kurt Sorensen, who have both had long-term injuries, are coming back today, and that'll certainly help them. They were back last week for that creditable draw against the Northern Pride. They are capable of some pretty good football, and if they get some of these good players on the park, Riley Brown up there to Josh White is a good effort, and then good effort here by Riley Brown. Again, he'll play in the number 9 again today. He's a Gold Coast Titan contracted player, and he'll be pretty handy as well. And then a good grubber kick here by Jamie Dowling, Gold Coast Titans 20s last year, and Alsop sneaks across in the corner to score that particular try. And there's the Burleigh Bears, the warm-up and the loosening up before. But what I'll be interested in today is whether Nick Parfitt can come up with the extra try he needs to become the top try scorer of all time in the Queensland Cup competition. He has been a bit light on for tries recently, only 1 in the last 14 games. He'll want to improve on that run toward the finals. Let's have a look at the side they'll put on the park. There's Parfitt at fullback. He is a good player to sniff out a try and see if he can do it today. Wanahi on one wing and Grant Purdon on the other. Joe Vickery and Morrison in the centres. There's Scotty Smith, I mentioned, will come in to skip of the side at 5'8". He did play last week as well. Jamie Dowling, a good player. Josh White, Aidan Lee, Seb Davies. Brenton Lawrence, not needed by the Titans last night, will take his place in the side. Fanini and Riley Brown. Pretty handy outfit. I'm sure they'll make a good account of themselves this afternoon. But Gav, they come up against South Logan, who've had a bit of a change in their playing personnel. No more dual registration, unfortunately, with the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, a little bit of a New South Wales-Queensland rivalry there, perhaps, David.
It continues.
It does indeed, Roddy, you're right. Yeah, players like Milne, Picker, Trevor Thurling won't be available for them for the rest of the season, which is unfortunate. But it'll give the local talent a bit of an opportunity to see how they go in the Magpies colours.
Yeah, it will. And of course, Canberra under 20s, a couple of players in the South Logan side, so it's still got a bit of a link there, but not as strong as it was. Gab, what about form recently here down at Burleigh? What's the current form of these two sides?
David, it's really unusual actually. You usually have the home ground advantage, but Burleigh haven't won down here on their home ground against South Logan since 2007. So probably half a dozen games or more winning streak for the South Logan Magpies down here, and they'll be looking to continue it this afternoon. Very important game, as you've mentioned, because the chasing pack of Wynnum and Mackay are just behind, so they'll be cheering for Burleigh to beat South Logan today, but we'll see how that happens.
They're certainly a capable side, South Logan. They can run in some good tries. They get a bit of room to move.
Yeah, they do indeed. Look, a couple of young players there. We'll see Milne here quite prominent in these plays, as is Phil Dennis there, a stalwart of the club as well. There's Milne just cutting through, popping the ball up there for that try ultimately. And then we see here again just a wide ball to the left, and there's Dennis again. Milne gets involved here again, throws just a drawing pass out to the winger, and he gets over in the corner there as well. So they're very attacking oriented, the South Logan Magpies. They're looking for another victory this afternoon. I think it'll be their fourth on the trot. They're just going through their normal routine here at the start of the game, getting their strapping done. Phil Dennis this afternoon, interestingly, the captain, will be starting from the bench. He's just back from injury, and he will be an important part of this game. We'll have a look at the Magpies line-up there. We've got Thompson on at fullback. The wingers both on debut this afternoon in Mitch Cronin and Josh Damon. Wish them all the best. In the centres, we've got Lowe and Edwards. Cronin and Dane Phillips in the halves there. Phillips, Nichols and Pittman in the back row. And the front row, Appleton and Ione. Travis Waddell as the hooker, and they're coached by Mark Beaumont.
Yes, murky skies above as we look north away from Burleigh Heads. Somewhere up there is Surfers Paradise. There it is, but you can see it's a no day for being at the beach on the Gold Coast. Disappointing if you're a tourist, but if you're a local, well, there's the footy to get stuck into, and I'm sure the crowd will be down in numbers today. Umbrellas are out, but if they're not here, no doubt they're joining you, watching on ABC television this afternoon. But the spectators who are here rugged up and have protection against the rain, which has continued to drizzle since we've been here, and it looks like it's going to stay around right through the game. So it is going to be somewhat slippery out there. South Logan Magpies, the visiting team, led out today by their captain Travis Waddell. Now, Travis Waddell, the Canberra-connected player, but he is going to continue to play the season out with the Magpies. Played in the Indigenous game at the beginning of the season as well, and he's a very good dummy half. 32 NRL games to his credit. Of course, Travis Waddell, captain, filling in, or at least in the starting capacity, for Phil Dennis, who is the captain, but he's starting off the bench. And we asked Phil Dennis earlier, coming off 3 wins for the Magpies, how are they going to keep up the momentum?
We've been really good in our defence, so as long as we keep that up, we can keep going. With defence comes attack, so that's what we're looking for.
Yes, Phil Dennis, he's a very experienced player, and he'll be very useful coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's coming back from injury, and that's why he is coming off the bench, and he will be very handy later on in the game. Here's the Burleigh Bears, the home side. There's Scotty Smith. He's got that left knee strapped. That's where his problems have been in the early part of the season.
And for Scott Smith, well, he knows it's a critical game for Burleigh. Are they ready to cope with the pressure?
Well, we're back at home. We're sitting 6th, so we want to push our way up the ladder and keep that buffer between us and 7th. So very big game for us today.
It is a very big game. They've been competitive in their last 2 games against good teams, top 3 teams. The loss to Redcliffe 30-22 and a draw against the Northern Pride. The referee today, Clayton Sharp, an experienced ref, 121 games, and our video referee is Tony Maxud.
You can tell by the look of Tony, he's experienced.
And he's calm and collected in the tent, the video tent. Clayton Sharp blows the whistle, and we're underway. South Logan running from south to north. Burleigh collect the kick and bring it back hard. And you would expect nothing less than a very good tussle between these 2 teams there. And the first penalty comes earlier than you might expect, though, and it's Travis Waddell, who has been pinged for holding on a little too long.
And this is a handy start for Burleigh. They'll find touch, Gav, right next to you.
Indeed.
And it's on the top of your tent now, I can report.
I thought that was just the hail coming in, David, that's all. But look, conditions here this afternoon, as you've already mentioned, a little bit greasy, lost ball and another penalty here. So a little breeze favouring the South Logan Magpies this afternoon. Should be a good match. I'm looking forward, even though the conditions are a little bit wet, looking forward to a pretty open, expansive game.
Well, that penalty, the second penalty, was for a strip. There are a lot of hands around the ball, whether or not it came loose, because it is a bit slippery already, of course. There's Brenton Lawrence, who was originally named in the 18 for the Titans. Didn't start, and that's a great boost to Burley. He's been playing some excellent football in the front row. And Burley continue to take it forward through with their other prop forward, Lewis Fanini. They're only 20 metres out. The Bears on the attack early, courtesy of back-to-back penalties. Working a little wider now, and it's Aidan Lee in centre field. Souths, a lot of talk in their defensive line, and they're under pressure early. Riley Brown at dummy half for the Burley Bears. Now comes out wide through Scott Smith to Lawrence in centre field. He's twisted around, he's ready to unload out the back, but his arms are wrapped up nicely by the Magpies. Last tackle coming up, 5 metres out. It comes to Jamie Dowling, the kick for the corner, a chance here out wide. Oh, I think the Magpies just got there first, or did they? Grant Purton's claiming the try.
Well, I thought it was grounded initially by the Magpies, but Purton flashed in, tried to get in and under and behind the defensive left winger, and the question is, has he been successful? He's taken a lot of credit already.
Well, they're very convincing actors, or are they just telling us the truth?
Certainly onside, that's not a problem. Good kick from Dowling, got it in behind the winger, and let's see if... grounded there by South Logan, undoubtedly, and Purton tried to convince everyone, but he won't convince Tony Maxsood, I'm sure. Josh Damon there gets his right hand on it. Well done by Damon. He had to turn and chase, and grounds it comfortably.
Clayton, South grounded that, so it's a line drop out.
Thanks, Tony. It's grounded here by South, drop out.
And the academy goes to the Burley Bears. Very convincing in their performance, giving credit to their winger, Grant Purton, for a try, but it wasn't to be. And that's a smart piece of work, in fact, a necessary piece of work by Josh Damon, who's just come into the lineup for the Magpies.
And the Magpies, that's their only touch on the ball thus far, as I recall, because there's been a couple of penalties and Burley have kept all the pressure on. They get another chance to launch an attack. Fanine gets it up almost to the 30, so that's a pretty good platform on which to start their attack. Dummying effort there by Josh White. Only picks up 5 metres, but this is all about setting a platform for your big play. Scotty Smith in there playing first receiver already. Like the big fellow in Lawrence, he's put it on the deck, but it's been picked up by South Logan. Knocked on. Dane Phillips knocked it on. So they've had 2 touches, South Logan, but they haven't played the ball yet. And there's the big fellow in Lawrence. Well, the ball was almost dislodged from his grasp, and a little bit of a fumbling effort to pick up was always going to be difficult.
Hooker's arms over.
You can see the for and against Burley. That's typical of Burley's season. They're about even Steven in their 6th spot. South Logan with a slight advantage there, sitting in 5th, and they're 2 points in front. So a real important game, this one. This time the Bears get it up to within 10 metres. Riley Brown rushes in there to control things from the dummy half. Up there to Fanine, he keeps it alive too. Up there to Josh White. Well, Burley should actually get across here. They've had all the possession and plenty of good territory as well. Scotty Smith turns back on the inside nicely. Nice run it was too by Aidan Lee. Couldn't get it down though. Riley Brown, face ball, good defence by South Logan. They read that nicely. Burley like to use that play. They're set up nicely on the right-hand side here and very deep. Up there to Jamie Dowling. A couple of dummy runners. Pretty easy to cover this. Up there to... they've knocked it on again, South Logan. Would you believe it? 3 touches and they haven't played the ball yet.
Yeah, they're starved of possession. They're doing a lot of tackling, but Burley made that easy for them. It was very predictable. Yep. The long pass from Scott Smith, and then in a clump, the runners were out there ready to execute off the fullback, Nick Parford joining in, but it was very predictable. They didn't have any slickness or speed about that, and that made it easy for the defence. Back in round 5, Burleigh were too good for South Logan, 24-4. And of course, Scott Smith has been out since a long time ago. He's playing at 5/8 today, can get into dummy half. If he drops it back, oh, I thought it went back.
Left hand was the one that touched it, and the refs decided that that was enough to propel it forward. Very poor pass. That's the last thing you want, Gav, at 5/8 from a scrum, a pass like that.
Yeah, and look, usually the halfbacks are very good with those passes getting out. They even drop the lock off these days, don't they, to make it an easier pass. But in that instance, yeah, just poor execution. But South will be happy to get their hands on the ball. A great start by South Logan. Phil Dennis mentioned in that pre-game interview about their defence, that stood to the fore there in those first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it certainly did. I just wonder about that knock on there, whether or not Scott Smith actually got a hand to it when he initially went for the ball or withdrew his hand in time. I'm not certain it was a knock on, but the Magpies finally get the ball, some relief, but they certainly want to make this set count. Good strong hit up from Mark Appleton, and he's just short of halfway. They keep it going again. Working to the right, and the kick downfield from Dane Phillips. He wants to play it at the other end, kicking on the 4th tackle. So they only they didn't keep it for the full 5, David, or full 6. No. And that's fairly sensible tactics in these conditions. Make sure you get a good kick away, play it down the other end.
Yeah, they certainly were keen to just take a bit of heat off. We're prepared to sacrifice possession for a neat kick downfield. Jamie Dowling into the way, and plenty of South Logan defence there to cover what was a pretty straightforward play. To play it there, Seb Davies. And that's Josh White into their opponent's territory. Stuttering run there by Joe Vickery. Last tackle play, so South Logan have kept them at bay. And this kick will be launched by Dowling. Good kick it is too. Will it give a chance for the chasers to come through? No, it doesn't. Comfortably taken there by Josh Damon, who was the man who saved the try a little bit earlier. And he was safe as a bank there in covering what was a very high kick.
Yeah, Damon under pressure. It was a high kick by Dowling, but took it well, stood his ground. The chasers arrived that fraction late, so he just had that moment of peace before they were on him. Gavin, is there any rain coming down at the moment?
No, it's quite fine at the moment, although always threatening to be raining, but no, it's and it has only been a very light drizzle, you know, a speck here and there, so I think that's been the case pretty much all day. First penalty to South Logan.
No, he's got to get it in, he's got to get it out.
And they'll be pretty happy about that. Mark Ioane, the number 10 for South Logan, Canberra 20s. But
yeah, it's against Blake Morrison for having his hand in there between the arm and the football, and the referee, that's what he had it in, he's got to get it out, was all about.
Yeah, but Ioane was trapping him there as well, and a lot of players do that. The ref was saying, well, look, it doesn't matter to me, you've got to get your arm clear, but Ioane wasn't making it easy for him.
But, David, that is the tactic now, isn't it? To get the arm, the defender trying to get the arm between the body and the ball to slow the whole process, to make the guy, the ball carrier, hold it that little bit longer because he has to take care.
Exactly. Let's have another look and just see this trapping action. There's the arm in there, and Ioane, look at him grabbing his own left arm really tight against his body and trapping the defender's arm.
Or was he simply trying to hold on to the ball tight?
I wouldn't give him that benefit of the doubt, Warren.
Go to the video ref on that one. But here's the Magpies on the attack, and they're only 5 metres out as they shoot it towards centre field. Ben Crone gets it out wide. Waddell turns it back on the inside. Mark Appleton out there to take that pass in centre field. Back to the left, opening up the space. Kick back towards the post from Cronin, and a near thing as Corey Thompson comes racing through. Looks like he's knocked it forward, though.
I think, no, might have been Parfitt who was forced ultimately to knock it dead. There's Parfitt. He was in trouble, and that was almost the only action left to him. So plenty of pressure now. The roles have been reversed. South Logan with a chance to put back-to-back sixes after being under pressure for the first 5 minutes of the game. Kick off the side of the foot. Fortunate there that it didn't keep sliding away. Mark Nichols put to the deck. South Logan up there to Cronin. That's Ioane. And he's the younger brother of
Digby.
Digby, Ioane, of course. Run there by Cronin, keeps it alive as well, puts it through the hands of Phillips. They keep it alive also, get on the outside. So they're prepared to create a little bit on that right-hand edge. Phillips again, straight up there to the big fella in Rez Phillips. So that was Dane Phillips to Rez. Rez starting in place of, there's a surging effort by Ioane again, I think it is. Driven back only a metre or so out. Dummy half Waddell. Puts it out the back to Dane Phillips. Little rubber kick through. Neatly covered though there by Wanahi.
Offside and involved.
Offside play.
Offside in front of the kicker and then got involved in the play is the call on the fourth tackle. This rubber kick through. And they had him trapped. They were about to force a second drop out in a row, but just overrunning the kick, or the kicker.
And no excuse for that. Dane Phillips got that kick away pretty quickly, so it wasn't as if there was any disjointed play there. Once you're in front of the kicker, you're really going to undo all the good work.
Yeah, it's the one controllable, isn't it, David?
Yep.
Getting the kick in is difficult, making the tackle difficult. The easy part is stay behind the kicker.
It should be. This time, I think that's VOCARY. Might have been Davies. Let's have a look. Yeah, Seb Davies it was. Big charging run up the middle there by Brenton Lawrence, who's played a few with the Titans this year. Big, strong man, run out of dummy half here by Riley Brown. Back into Brenton Lawrence again. They're up over the 40-metre line of their opponents. Out there to Jamie Dowling. Back on the inside of Fanine. Now to the 30. One last tackle. High kick is normally the standard play here. Dowling steps forward. Everyone onside this time. There's another towering kick. Can the kid take it this time? Yes, he can. Josh Damon. 3 touches, 2 great high takes, and a good one to save a try from a grubber kick through.
And this is his debut, isn't it? His debut with the Magpies, so he's acquitted himself very well in this first 10 minutes, under pressure 3 times. Good take. Of course, South Logan, as was mentioned earlier, without the Canberra connection now. And there's Paul Bramley watching on, the coach of the Bears. But that means that David Milne, Michael Picker, Reece Robinson, Trevor Thurling, James Stewart, they've all had quite a few games for the Bears, for the South Logan team this year. They're not going to be available.
And this has come about by the insistence of the New South Wales Rugby League that those players must be playing in the New South Wales Cup competition. I've said before, I just do not agree with even the principle of it. It's a great concept to have the Raiders assisting the growth of rugby league in the Logan area.
Well, what I think is ridiculous is that the rules should, whatever rule has been enforced here, should be enforced mid-season. I mean, you look at David Milne, he's played 11 games for this team. Now, his motivation is to be in the Raiders team, but I'm sure after 11 games with South Logan, he would like to finish the season with them.
Came about, Warren, because of this dual registration in the 30th of June issue. This time now, Burley back in the driver's seat. Dowling, very slow play here, up to Scotty Smith. Loads to Aiden Lee, I think it was. Little knockdown kick here by Smith into the corner, get too deep. Too deep. And that'll be a relief there for South Logan. They've done, I think, pretty well, Gav. After the early onslaught of 5 minutes, they're certainly competitive.
Look, it's a very competitive game, David. You know, there's not too much in it. I'm impressed by the young Damon on the wing, as you've already mentioned, with in his debut. The other winger for South Logan as well, in Cronin, also on debut. Hasn't had many opportunities yet. But South Logan are doing well as they get another penalty here, by the look of it. They are going well, and I'm looking forward to seeing. They've got some rangy forwards, and they look like they're trying to get over the top and get some unloads away. So if they can get some of that second phase play going, I think they'll be hard to keep out.
There's young Josh Damon as well, taking a ruck up the middle for a debutant. That's always a little bit heart and mouth stuff.
Waddell finds touch, and the Magpies go on the attack. It's Waddell himself who turns one of his big men under, back into the teeth of the Burleigh defence, where they are usually pretty tight. But that just keeps that defence in that area. Another hit up. Waddell to Appleton. Appleton striving to break the tackle. Waiting on the edge is Rez Phillips. No, instead they go the other direction. Waddell is tackled and he's lost it. Lifted and dropped hard, not illegally lifted.
Well, the players running in, the Burleigh players, well, that's the accolades there for Scotty Smith. I thought there might have been a little bit of argy-bargy coming, but Scotty Smith gets the credit to make the tackle. Certainly didn't get above the horizontal, was lifted, but they were probably fortunate that, as was Travis Waddell, that it ended up coming down on his back.
He went fairly close to the horizontal and dangerous territory, but when you're coming down on your back, you're not as likely to hit your neck or head and have it driven into the ground.
Get your arms around the outside.
And David, I know that it's a rule that you enforce very, very firmly. There's the record head-to-head. It's Burleigh in front, 17-8 in terms of wins and losses. Yeah, it's only when your head's being driven to the ground that damage is going to be done to the spine. And I haven't seen that happen in about 5 seasons of having this rule in place. Now, maybe the rule has caused that not to happen.
I think it's been a positive. I think players now, you can even see at times now, players actually hold players up and actually won't put them to ground. They actually hold them up. So I think it's been a positive. Fanine does a good run out of up the middle of the ruck. Dowling throws a bit of a dummy, only because he had to. I don't think he was always intent to take the line on there. Probably had no option and did the right thing. Oh, a little quick flick of the hands by Riley Brown.
Yeah, he tried to get it to Vickery, but it was such a short, sharp pass. It was through the hands of Vickery before he reacted, unless he thought it was intended to be a cutout. I don't know. He might have had a peep at the defenders. The ball's gone down and Burleigh have blown a chance. Gavin, right in front of you, what's the intensity like?
Look, David, I think, Warren, I should say, I think that it's quite, it's right up there. You know, I think that just looking at the game, Burleigh seem to be coming down that right side quite a bit, on the short side, particularly just here in front of me. So it's interesting whether they've detected a weakness there, whether they're having a chop at the young winger, as I said earlier, in Damon, just to see what his defensive capabilities are like. But they've come there a number of times that haven't had any success yet. I'm interested to see if it continues.
Keep your head in. Go, mate.
The Magpies have been getting the upper hand in terms of territory the longer this game has gone, and they're back in Burleigh's half again. Appleton, he likes getting a piece of the action. He's been heavily involved in hitting it up. Sorry, Gavin.
Sorry, mate. The Breeze just strengthening a little bit behind South Logan, so their kicking game will come to the fore again.
So still burrowing forward, South Logan. 2 men in the tackle from Burleigh. Out it goes to Phillips. Kept it going. Waddell comes wider, back towards the post. Appleton dummies, goes himself, still going. Looked at Phillips, didn't pass. They're in centre field. A lot of talk out there. Ben Cronin works it left. A chance for Drury low. Low goes close. He's cut down.
Nice little bit of footwork by Drury too. That looked like he might have Drury low. He might have been able to beat his man, but good close out in the end. They certainly were in the one-on-one situation. Good tackle it was by Joe Vickery. He initially would have thought he was in a bit of trouble because Lowe went nicely off his right foot. Davies up too high. And you can see his disappointment and disgust. No reason why he should have ended up in touch there. Been wet conditions, but I wouldn't call them slippery. And see how they hold them up. The whole idea these days is not to get them to ground early, and while that momentum is continuing and the player has still got some contact with his feet on the ground, they can keep pushing.
Yeah, watching a few old games recently, and where the intent was much more to tackle low around the hips. It's a completely different game now. The attitude to tackle high, to lock up the ball, has made it a very different game in terms of offloading, the free flow, the speed of the tackle.
Yep, no, very different.
Wait till I call it out.
Just see how these boys attack from here. We'll come back to that point of Warren shortly.
Not convinced that it's a better game for it, I've got to say as well.
Yeah, but it's very hard to make any change to avoid it. Corey Thompson does well to beat a couple of tackles. Good tackle in ultimately by Wanahi to come back from outside the head-geared winger. Second phase pay up there to Rez Phillips. Big, strong guy. End up backing toward the line, so pretty hard to use your full power in that sort of situation. Dummying effort. Back on the inside to Nichols. And Burleigh defending like their season depends on it, and it may well do. Good hard ruck here, but he'll be held up, I think. Good work, Billy. Four players in there. Talk about changing trends, Warren. In the old days, it was seldom a player got held up over the line. I know what you recall in the old days, but now it's almost, what, 20-30% at least get held up.
It's a credit to the defence, isn't it? Yep. Goal line defence is just so much stronger, I think. There's a lot of concentration on it, but another chance for the Magpies.
Yeah, good one. A good chance it is too, as they go out through the hands of Phillips. Waddell decides to come back this way. Little grubber kick through. It was a bit of kick and hope, though.
Very flat-footed then. There was no set-up in attack. Maybe they were thrown out by the being tackled over the line. They had 2 more tackles. They didn't use them well, and Nick Parfitt comes back to halfway. They come back for the 20 tap, I should say.
Just on the different tackling techniques these days, Warren, and there's been a bit of controversy around this missile tackle at the legs. But the sequence of tackles these days is to hit them up high, as you say, another penalty going to Burley. Wrap up, hold up, knock down, hold down. So there's about 5 phases to any tackle, and guess what? Each one of those takes about a second. So it's all about delaying the play the ball. The missile tackle is part of the knockdown process, which is the danger part, and they're looking to police that.
That penalty against Ben Cronin, had a foot in the play the ball area, trying to slow it down. And away go Burley now. First time they've been at this end for about 10 minutes. Still no points on the board, remarkably. Here's Fanini, completed sets. Burley 9 out of 12, South Logan 8 out of 9. So Burley have actually had more ball but completed less.
That's one of the worst errors you can make after you've taken the hit. Fanine there, the culprit. All you've got to do is get up and tidily play the ball. And he'd done all the hard work and didn't do the easy bit.
It's going to be very interesting when the coaches go to their bench, because both have real attacking weapons. In the case of South Logan, it's Phil Dennis, the experienced Phil Dennis. In the case of the Burley Bears, Bo Henry, former St George player, has been playing with Newcastle. Wayne Bennett doesn't want him for next year. He's been offloaded to the Titans. He's playing for Burley off the bench today. Bo Henry. Both of these players can make a difference to the game, and they should be due fairly soon, I would think, before half-time anyway.
Yeah, quite often the coaches make the change around about the 20-minute mark. Normally a couple of forwards. There's another. How many penalties have we had? We had 7 penalties in 21 minutes, so that's...
There hasn't been much flow in the game due to penalties and handling errors. Particularly by Burley when it comes to handling errors.
Penalties in general been certainly warranted, but the players will get the message sooner or later. Big fella there, middle. Was Appleton, was it? Might have been Nichols. Charging run up the middle. So good chance for South Logan perhaps to show their wares in the attack play. Rez Phillips. So a strong guy, very vigorous runner. Waddell to work the dummy half. Second man play up to Dane Phillips, another second man play. Took the alive, is that Andrew Edwards? Down a line side. Good play here. This for the South Logan boys. Flashing in on that right side is Mitch Cronin, and didn't he hit it at pace? Could well be his first touch in first grade footy. So this is pretty easy. But nice work from South Logan. Finally got their chance with another good attack play. Little grubber kick through and flashes through onto it. I think the kick was from Pittman. Beautiful work for the back rower, and Mitch Cronin aware to it. Quite often, well, that looked to be ad-lib to me, but quite often they do tee it up. Yeah, Pittman grubbers it through, and flashing onto it, Mitch Cronin. Good on the young fellow.
Yeah, it was an ambush play, wasn't it? I don't think anyone expected Pittman to be the kicker, but he's grubbered it through with
Cronin did.
Yeah, well, Mitch Cronin was a wait, so yeah, on debut he scored. The 19-year-old is in for a try.
And his brother now will be the guy who'll attempt to convert. Ben Cronin, the number 6. Not an easy kick, but not a lot of wind around, so if he hits it right, it should go through the sticks. And that's exactly what he's done. South Logan first point, 6-0.
That's probably a fair reward for effort for the South Logan boys. They've been on top in this first half. I think they've dominated the field position. But look, just an ad-lib play, as you say. The winger just popped in. He thought the threat was a little bit closer in from the Magpies. And Cronin, as you say, first touch of the footy, first try in first grade. His brother kicks a goal. I wonder if they'll score all the points to Sarvi.
Might be partying tonight, the Cronin boys, if it continues to a win, but that's a long way away. Of course, the game started with consecutive penalties to Burleigh, and they very nearly scored a try, but from that moment, Souths have gradually got back on top in this game and finally converted it into points. It's been an even struggle, though, for the most part.
And as we've said, this game is absolutely vital for Burleigh. They're 2 points adrift of South Logan, who are in 5th place, Burleigh in 6th, but Burleigh are only 3 points ahead of 2 teams in equal 7th, and they're 3 points behind them. So they'll feel the breath on the back of their necks if they drop this one today.
And Wynnum Manly in particular have really got a run going now.
Yeah, big win was at over North, I think, last week. So Wynnum are starting to put some play together. Big Rez Phillips there crashes into the line. So South Logan, pretty impressive. Kick there by Travis Waddell. And down there to Nick Parfitt. He's 1 try away from equaling the top try scoring of all time for the Queensland Cup, and Ryan Cullen holds that. I think at 112, Ryan Cullen. Parfitt, a try scoring machine, but he's had a bit of a drought of late. He'll be keen to rectify that. He's one that really sniffs out a try. He does back up well, and that's really what he's got to get back into. Lawrence, well, he had all intent to burst through the line, but well, that's one of the great parts about rugby league. It's a real contest, especially in the middle there, a physical contest.
Well, that's like 2 diesel trains colliding. Rez Phillips meets Brenton Lawrence. Lawrence with the ball buckled and went back.
He said, how come I'm going backwards? He said, I thought this Queensland Cup was supposed to be easier than the NRL.
It wasn't as if he didn't come up with gusto,
well,
Lawrence. I mean, he was coming at him, and Phillips saw him and lined him up.
He's had a good game, Rez Phillips. I've been really impressed. He really rips in defence, and he's vigorous in attack as well.
But here's another penalty, and it's gone the South Logan way.
Yes, well, the ref, Clayton Sharp, isn't going to be lenient. He's going to continue blasting the whistle to get a good, clean game. There's the tackle, lying on there a little bit too long. That's not slow motion, that's normal time. A little bit of a camp. Now the South Logan boys, another chance. Can they put back-to-back tries on? That'll put the Magpie amongst the Bears. Nice effort here by Mark Ioane. They are set up nicely with a very flat attack line, but double attack line. Ben Cronin just decides to take it forward. Doesn't put him to ground, so that means they'll get a reasonably quick play. The ball, Phillips, it'll grab a kick in behind again. This is a good chance. That's another try, this time by the other winger and Josh Damon. We're going to have to go to the video to be sure. The only thing can be, did he get a clean grounding? And we've had mirror images of tries here. In each corner, the grubber kick through, this time more routine with a halfback putting the grubber through and flashing onto it here. Young Josh Damon, and I'll give him that for sure and certain.
Clayton, that's a try.
Thanks, Tony.
It certainly is a try, and it's a fine try. Well grounded by Damon. Excellent grubber, left footer by Dane Phillips, just slotting it through, and the winger on that side, Grant Purden, he had come up. He was flat-footed, confronting his winger, and all of a sudden he has to turn, and Damon was past him in a flash. In fact, well, there were 2 chases there. Lowe was past him, and they both went past him in a flash. And Damon is the one who wins the race.
And he was the one who saved a try at the other end by getting a grubber kick from South Logan. This young kid played apparently for New South Wales Country Colts in rugby union, and was suggested, why did you ever go at rugby league, son? Well, I guess so far he's saying, this game will do me. He's taken a couple of great high balls, saved a try in the first couple of minutes with a grounding at the other end of the park, and then has flashed through to pick up what is these days a somewhat of a regulation try. And Burleigh, well, they'll be a bit shell-shocked. They've made a replacement there where I can see Kurt Sorensen, one of the changes on. and Ben Cronin. He kicked it from the other side. This should be more favoured with the right footer, but so much for that theory. 10-0 in favour of South Logan.
These South Logan wingers will be thinking, how easy is this game? Queensland Cup. I don't know what they're complaining about. Good to both wingers. A good little left foot kick there. I think it was on tackle 4. So that's part of the reason. Damon flashes through. Part of the reason that the little unexpected that the Burleigh Bears, it was on tackle 4, I'm pretty sure. So a good try, good reward for her effort. Mark Beaumont pretty happy over there with looks like one of the boys hanging onto the umbrella, Wade Liddell. And a good try and a deserved lead for the South Logan Magpies.
Well, was one of the injured players holding the brolly for the coach? Was he?
It looked like him. I think he's looking for a game. I was just thinking before as well. I was just thinking before, boys, as well. I'm not sure that Tony would have needed the video ref. He should have been able to award that one straight from the box. It's right under his nose.
Direct line of sight.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to see Grant Purdon out there on the wing for Burleigh Bears as well. Of course, you remember his brother Trent Purdon was a flying winger for the Burleigh, scored many a great try. Good to see Grant out there now at the age of 26 on the wing for the Bears.
He's a very, very young South Logan backline. I think Dane Phillips is the only one. He's 24. The other ones are 22 and less.
David actually had a look just before at that. They've got 11 in their side, 22 or younger of the 17.
Oh, that's amazing. And they're the ones in front against a Burleigh side that's starting to fire up.
It was contact that looked spectacular, probably a more the look than the real bruising.
Touched.
Deflected. Someone's got to get onto this quickly. Kicked ahead by South Logan. A chance here, and still a chance as well.
Play on.
And is that Drury Lowe has scored?
It is. It is Drury Lowe. Well, what an amazing sequence. There's the ref awarding Clayton Sharp. Initially, the kick was charged down. It was deflected, bounced up in the air, and that made it very difficult for Nick Parfitt, who had to come forward. Other players, Burleigh players, coming back to try and save the day. And then one of the South, there's the deflection, and then one of that puts all players on side, and there's the kick through. And then, unfortunately, Purdon couldn't get a hold of it. Quickly picked up out to Drury Lowe, and South Logan. Well, that is an absolute bonus. Some coaches say they don't like the charge down, and that's one of the reasons why. It's the big guy.
I think it's Sam Gardell who kicked it ahead.
Well done for the big fella. He was a big man that was putting in the big strides, and South Logan have, well, skipped away 16-0.
Yes, the conversion's been landed.
Well, back-to-back tries there, boys, too. It wasn't from consecutive sets, and so that's a very good lead now for South Logan Magpies. Good work from Gardell. He would have scored it himself. Oh, he just about got it in his hands. That probably his first touch as well. It's a game for first touches, I think, with the boys, but a big lead now for South Logan.
So do we put that kick downfield by Travis Waddell down as a defensive kick or an attacking kick?
Try assist.
It's a very effective one.
16-0, they've blown it wide open, the Magpies.
Some coaches hate the charge down because it puts an element of confusion into your play. They'd rather let the kick float downfield. And Burleigh, who've been penalised consistently for activity in the tackle, continue with that tactic and are being well and truly penalised for it.
Yes, the penalties certainly have gone against them, and now the Magpies back in enemy territory once more. Penalties 5-4 in favour of South Logan. They've come from behind in the penalty count, and they're on top of it now. Here's a good run from Sam Crabb. They're 25 metres out. Called for by Ben Cronin. Likes working down his left side. Lowe, the try scorer. Well tackled, though. It's a good battle going on there. Purdon made that tackle in the end. Cronin again. Straight runner. And it's a big, strong run indeed by Ioane. Ioane, I should say. To get that pronunciation right.
Not always.
Waddell has a look at it himself, goes deeper. Cronin swings it out further. And the kick across field by Dane Phillips. It's a chance as well. What a try! 2 tries in the match already for Mitch Cronin on debut, and they've both been remarkable. What a try, what a catch.
That was brilliant, that, on the full. This was
Well, last night Gerald Yoyi scored a
Yes.
try, and comparisons were made to a famous try from the 80s by Steve Gearin, where he dived through the air to take a catch. And this is pretty good.
This is just perfect positioning. Dane Phillips, great kick this. This is precision kicking just over the top of the opposing winger. Poor old Wahi. And then racing through comes Mitch Cronin. He said, I want to get back in the action. You're missing out on this side. There's some pretty quick hands.
I hate to tell Mitch Cronin, he probably won't score a better try in his career than this. This is his debut game.
He's fortunate he's got it on ABC TV. And he'll be able to keep a record of it. There he is. Two games, 2 in his career, 2 today. And he's not finished yet.
Just brilliant. Just brilliant.
He'd be saying to his older brother, Ben, is again going to try and convert. Ben, you've been telling me all these years how tough this Queensland Cup is.
And again, as I said earlier, he's only 19. And you can see that fresh-faced smile on his face from ear to ear.
Yeah. And let's see if Ben, who converted his brother's first try, can do the same here. And no, just pushed it to the right-hand side. But 20-0, would you believe that, Gav?
Oh, look, you can't believe it, but it doesn't get any better than that. That's a brilliantly executed play. We talk about the skill of the players in the NRL, but the skill of the players is here in the Queensland Cup as well. Look, that is just perfection, inch perfect. He's dived full length. He's taken the ball like a third slipper going wide, and he's got it down just inside the dead ball line. You won't see a better try than that on ABC TV all year.
And look, I said that try compares to some
All of a sudden they're out of their danger zone. It allows South Logan to play a bit more open play. Good ruck play it was too. Good pass on the outside then, and good support play. This could be their first try. They're going to run in. It is so too. Mitch Cronin, number 4, is it? Or is it? No, not Cronin. Drury Lowe, the number 3, who scored in the first half off a charge down kick. And South Logan run in their first try. Good busting run, this one. And they did well to keep it alive. And Drury Lowe, nice little step on the back defender, almost all too easy. This is a good ball, this one. And Drury Lowe, little play on Parfitt, who really didn't lay a hand on him. And Lowe picks up his second.
Was that what Ioane got that away?
Yes.
It was a good pass too from him. Well, that was a great run. Got in amongst them, got the arms free, and perfect timed run from Drury Lowe. Nice step to beat the fullback, and away goes. And that's great work by South Logan. They weathered the storm, gave away a few penalties in a row, but they held their line intact and then hit back with a try.
Very well done, and nice little step play by Lowe to totally wrong foot the experienced Nick Parfitt. Normally you expect your fullback to put a hit on there, and Paul Bramley, well, he would be extremely disappointed.
Mark Beaumont, on the other hand, very happy. Not celebrating yet, but they must be pleased with this display. Ben Cronin has a difficult one. Kicked the last one, and this is on track as well. No, just slides past the upright. But it's tries that are winning this game, not goals. 30-0.
Had a few supporters over there, did Cronin, with that goal kick, but that's the end of the story. Here's Drury Lowe, just a little in and away, and then just got on the inside there of Nick Parfitt. Parfitt on a hiding to nothing, had no support coming through there, and Drury Lowe does very well to get to the corner and extend the South Logan lead out to 30-0.
And I am surprised to see Burleigh being beaten by 30 points. I thought it'd be much closer than that today, and I know we've said repeatedly a number of the tries have come from kicks, but this has been a dominant display, and they're away again, the Magpies. Damon turns it back inside to Lowe. Ducks under a tackle, still going. Sorensen comes across to finally silence him.
Mark Ioane was the player who hit the line and offloaded again, so the young front rower having a strong game. But that preceding try, that was straight from the tap, I think, wasn't it? Ioane just took the ball straight off the tap and went straight through the line with a nice offload. Burleigh, they wouldn't want to drop their bundle. And Phil Dennis.
And traditionally, Burleigh have got a rock-solid defence, very aggressive defence, in fact.
It'd be very unusual for them to concede a try from a tap move 50 metres out with only 2 passes. Waddell hoists it, Parfitt under it. There's a bit of confusion here. Play on, another kick play. Pass on the outside there to Thompson. Thompson can't get through. Good work, Burleigh. That's knocked on.
He lost it forward. Tried to get the pass away. The bomb was good.
No communication at all between Parfitt and Wanahi. Good defence, though, to desperately bring him down. It might have been number 4 in Morrison.
I thought for a moment that Mitch Cronin was going to have some space on the outside and be aiming for his 4th try. But that, you're right, David, at the back there, Nick Parfitt and Wanahi, there was no call, or they both called. They both went up for it and got on each other's road.
Normally the fullback's ball there, if you hear
stay down.
Overlapped calls. Normally let the fullback have a go at it. It was right in his area. It wasn't as if Wanahi should have known the fullback was there. Now Burleigh, can they get a little bit of reputation back in this game? They have been absolutely, well, on the scoreboard at least 30-0. They will defend their position by saying only 1 try has come from a run-in, but as I think you said, Warren, most of those kicks have been from close to the line. They've been rewarded for putting pressure on.
Been rewarded for getting to that point on the field. So Josh White take it up a moment ago. He's on the outside here, but he's not going to get it. There's a kick from Smith straight to Thompson. Takes it on the run. Beautifully judged. Comes back at them fast. Steps. Ooh, has opened up a hole, but couldn't get through it. Tackled by Morrison nicely. But yeah, when you see a Josh White, a former South Logan player, they've kept a close eye on him, and none of the Bears have been able to dent South Logan today. Here's Phillips. Well tackled this time, but he's been a handful. Uasi through the hands of Ioane, out wide as Nichols. Had a good game, Nichols. They keep it going. Gets Ioane again. It's full of running. Full of running late in the game. Dennis gets it away to Waddell. Waddell to Thompson. As they put another kick through, and more confusion at the back as players go flying in different directions. But this time, Wanahi has done well to cover it.
There's no shock tactic in those kicks anymore. They're almost waiting for those, and Wanahi in a bit of trouble. Dived on the loose ball, and again, that's the time when things are most out of control. You don't know where players are going to slip and slide.
I think it has been the length of these kicks today, particularly the ones on the ground, that have really confused them at the back.
Yep.
Nick Parfitt's a very experienced player, but there have been a lot of players going for the ball, and I don't think there's been confidence that anyone knows who's going for it and who's standing off.
Yep, and I think too, Warren, a lot of them, the kicks have been right in the line. They've waited for the defence to come up. They've held the defence up. There's Wanahi getting that heavy shoulder knock, and complaining about it as well. He believes he might have been hit high. There he is. That's okay. Oh, that's where he's hurt himself. His head was hit to the left with this knee. There it is there. Totally accidental. But, that'd give you a bit of a sore neck.
Yeah, this game has demonstrated how effective the kicking game can be, particularly in slippery conditions. But earlier in the season, we saw Redcliffe absolutely close a game out using the short kick.
Yep.
It's not more than closed it out, scored tries. It's very effective, and the rules really lend you to go with the kicking game. They're invited.
Yep, they invite the kick. We've discussed before whether a kick try should be rewarded with the points that they are, 4 points in a conversion. We won't go there again.
Yep. Well, Burley can go into South Logan half here, and will. But what have they got? They have not today been able to muster much in attack. Riley Brown's up there to take the tap. And gets it to Scott Smith. Keeps it going to Lawrence in centre field. He bumps away from a couple.
He's been their go-to man a fair bit, but South Logan, as we've said, have covered him well.
And this is the way they like to set up, to get it to Lawrence just to the right-hand side of the post, then come back. Slipping passes away here nicely, though. That's Henry. Smith cuts back to the wide left side. No way through for Fanini. Another run out of dummy half from Morrison this time. So they've got one to go. Working it wide. Smith dummying. A chance out here with numbers. Kurt Sorensen wrapped up, though. It's on the fifth tackle. It will be if he's... No, he's got the arms free and he gets it away. Lawrence is there. Lawrence goes for the line hard. Well tackled. Dennis was underneath. Waddell was over the top. They're only a couple of metres out on the last. Will they get a kick in here? They will. It's out wide for the wingers, and up they go. Knocked away, though, in the end by Andrew Edwards, is out there to clear it away from the attackers coming through.
Well, South Logan have shown that kicks are also defendable. This was... they were in a bit of bother for a while, but the knock dead was fine. You can't be offside in your own in-goal area. So even though Edwards may have been in front of the last man to touch it, that's okay. You can then knock it dead. Now, can Burley get some level of reputation restored with at least a try or two? Josh White, as Warren set up against his old club. There's always a bit of extra feeling both ways there. Scotty Smith, Fanine takes the line on. Morris saying the number 4, we want to go right. But guess what? He was always trying to throw them a dummy with the putting action. They come down the left and gets inside the 10. They've been here plenty of times, but they've been not able to get over the try line. Up there to Scotty Smith, a little bit of a dummy on the outside. That's going to be a problematic pass. Pass up there to VOCARY, can't handle it, nor should he have been expected to. Is that Lowe again? I think it might be, or Thompson out there to save the day. So some desperation passing, Gab, the long one not going to hand.
Well, you know, they're trying everything that they can. They've had some opportunities. Look, you know, we keep saying that Burleigh can't quite on their attacking game, but let's give some credit to the South Logan defence. They've withstood everything that Burleigh have thrown at them. Admittedly, at times that hasn't been, you know, a huge issue. But they did mention at the start of the game through Phil Dennis that they've built their last few games on defence, and they've certainly done today.
And now they're on it as they take it into the Burleigh half. And the kick ahead in behind Pertinent. The chance that Damon can't quite hang on to it. Nick Parfitt's got it, and he's close to touch. There'll be no advantage there, surely.
Well, amazing little kick through again. First to it was Damon. He just couldn't handle. If they'd have been able to retrieve 3 of these kick plays in this second half, it would have been an amazing record of 8 tries from kicks. But not to be on that occasion. Now,
let's go.
Really,
let's get someone in. Yeah.
Burleigh aren't rushing themselves to unpack this scrum.
Hold the weight, keep your arms
No,
over
it's been drizzly today. It's not as if it's been a day that's they've not been able to play a bit of footy. South Logan have decided to use the kick, and I think one of the things too is Burleigh have not defended them well. They have not positioned themselves to cover those kicks. You've got to diffuse them. Wanahi tries to and does pretty well to pick up an extra few metres. Very disappointing effort here from Burleigh. This fella's worked hard. You must know Johnny Cartwright, the Titans coach, is here.
Well, he'll be topping the hit-ups for Burleigh, I'm sure, by a long way.
Bo Henry straight through the line, has support inside and out. No, comes back on the inside nicely to Scotty Smith. I think it's, well, is that a kick through again? I think it was. Perfect. Well, we could have him equaling the Queensland Cup try scoring. We'll have to go to the video to conclude it.
Tony, that'll be,
but Bo Henry nicely through the line. Good back up there from Scotty Smith, who put, I think, the grubber kick through. Must have been, and then
Parfitt got there, I think. Yeah. I think Scott Smith realised that he wasn't going to get to the line himself, and that his pass on the inside was blocked, so he put the kick ahead.
Yep, Bo Henry to the line, a little bit of a dummy, goes himself, tiring defence. Has support inside and out, uses Scotty Smith, the captain. And he flicked it in behind, and it's come off a defender, so it hasn't gone forward. He's flicked that ball, Scotty Smith, right-handed, came off a defender, I think in Waddell, and certainly Parfitt has grounded it. This is an unusual, but I think a fair try. The flick pass by Scotty Smith went backwards, but into a defender, who then knocked it back from his direction, but forward into the path. Here it is. Now let's have a look. Scotty Smith, he's holding the ball in the right hand, tries the little flick, goes straight into Waddell, so that's play on. That's play on. He'll say he intended this. Oh, look, the hand was always ready to flick pass. Waddell wasn't ready for it, nor would you expect him to be.
Clayton, all good. It's a try, mate.
As Scott Smith could see Nick Parfitt out of the corner of his eye, whether or not he realised that there were 2 chasers there from South Logan, but it's worked for him, that flick around the back. A little luckily, Parfitt adds 2 points, and Burleigh are on the board finally with a converted try, and a good break by Bo Henry.
Wade left Waddell out of his hands up, would have caught that, hit him right in the bread basket, but unfortunately he didn't. Unfortunately for Nick Parfitt, he goes to the equal top try scorer with 112. What a fantastic effort over a long career from Nick Parfitt. He gets that try today. As I said, a bit of a drought recently, but that's an all-important one. He'll be looking forward to the next one to go ahead of Ryan Cullen as well, and I'm sure Cullen's still looking for more to keep going as well. Well done.
Yeah, congratulations to Nick Parfitt. He's been a tremendous player in the Queensland Cup with a couple of clubs, and still going strong, and the man on the spot there to score that record-breaking try. So Burleigh with 5 more minutes, trying to improve the scoreline. Again, it's Lawrence. He pops the pass out the back. He's worked hard. Riley Brown was there to back up. Now it's Morrison. Plenty of cover defence across.
Very good cover. There was 5 players in an umbrella. Another penalty. It must be a record penalty count today. 9-5, 10 all the penalties. Well, no one's been favoured by it, you can say that, but the referee Clayton Sharp has found it necessary to blast a few. I didn't agree with 2 of them. And here's a good low tackle to force the error.
Beautiful tackle.
Just an absolute grass cutter, Gav, on it.
That's the old days, coming back, and he lost the footy. Good work.
Said Rez Phillips it was who scythed him down.
And just to make it clear, Nick Parfitt has now drawn level with Ryan Cullen at the top of the record try scoring list. Yes, he's got that 112 tries up now. Ryan Cullen from Redcliffe played some wonderful football, of course, scored some spectacular tries, but Nick Parfitt, I'm sure, can match him all the way.
Yeah, 112 tries in 171 games. Pretty good strike rate.
So it's South Logan in possession one more time. And trying to make an impression there. I think that's Andrew Edwards, actually. I might have called him playing out wide. Nick Cronin's been spending a lot of time at right centre in this half with Phil Dennis on the field. It's been a good day for the Magpies here, and away they go with Uasi. He's clean through, looks for support. The pass finds Damon, I think it is. Damon's close. Can't go all the way as a Drury low. Not far away from the line. Oh, bad play the ball against the attacking team. So that's 3 penalties in the game against the attacking team.
Well, the penalty is for not putting your foot on the ball. My understanding is all you do is make an attempt to play it. He was bumped by a defender, and that's why he ended up stepping over the ball. So again, a tough penalty. It's been a penalty in possession. And the touch, he should have been close enough to see that little bit of interference on the man trying to play the ball. Should have gone the other way.
The go-to man, Lawrence, takes it up again. But has been the case all day. There's 2 and 3 men in the tackle. Every time Lawrence comes at them, they have really done everything they can to keep him out of the game. Morrison, no, it's not Morrison, a dummy half. Morrison might get the ball off Brown. He won't. Brown dummies. He had Smith backing up on the inside. Scott Smith with his 2nd game back from injury today. He will go better and better, though he's been heavily involved today. Josh White. And the ball high on his shoulder. He's still got it, though. He takes it over the halfway line. Smith kicks ahead. And Thompson does allow it to bounce. Couldn't get there on the full, but he's got a good bounce. And he's still going, Corey Thompson. Down the line he comes. Thompson will run. And across comes Riley Brown. It's an important tackle.
He's a good gun, Corey Thompson, the number 1 for South Logan. He played South Logan 20s last year, so he's a kid in that South Logan area. And he's been very impressive in the number 1 today, seeing David Milne is now no longer available. He's going to fill that 1 role and has done it very well, Gav.
Yeah, he has. You know, he's been there or thereabouts. He nearly scored that try in the first half, so he's been sniffing around the footy. His returns have been good.
Damon's at almost away.
He's an elusive runner too, Damon. He's got through some gaps today.
But the way they've been able to plug the holes left by the Canberra Raider players, who aren't going to be with them for the rest of the season, has been remarkable, to be honest, to put 30 points on Burleigh with a new-look team.
And a young side too, Warren. You know, they could have been overawed here today. It's the 2nd week in a row now they've played without the Canberra senior players.
This kick goes dead.
Yeah, that's a bit ordinary, isn't it?
Before the game, we thought that maybe they lifted last week, but they'd, you know, come back to the field today. It hasn't been the case at all.
No, they've done a very good job. But as we've said, their kicking game, particularly for tries, 5 of them, has been well, better than what the Maroons could have achieved.
Now Smith kicking on the first tackle.
40-20s after it, but won't get it.
No, it hasn't found the sideline. I'm not sure that he... Oh, yeah, he was behind the 40 well and truly. But at least it's good to see Burleigh not going out with a whimper. They're going to fight it out and try and score more points. South's getting back on side a little slowly now, but their job is done. And Rez Phillips, didn't he have a great first half? And he's still going strong in the second. He really ripped in early in the game. Lawrence has been left behind. He's been hurt. Slowly to his feet. Waddell goes up the middle. Last few seconds of the match. Another kick through. Why not? Nick Parfitt gets this on the full, and very gladly so. Throws a late pass. Sorensen kicks ahead. Burleigh are trying to score more points. And one more chance for Corey Thompson. Souths have got it back. Watch out for Corey Thompson. Here he goes. He steps past one, gets past another, but they finally round him up. And that will be full time. It is full time. And a resounding win to South Logan. The Magpies far too good for Burleigh here. 30 points to 6. An impressive display from them. They led 20-0 at half time. They've gone on with the job in the second half. And this rebuilt young South Logan team certainly take the honours today, and it leaves Burleigh just in a little bit of peril there on the edge of the top 6 with Wynnum Manly and also Mackay not too far behind. Burleigh need to get back on the winning track soon. They were out-kicked today. South Logan went to kick, whether it was the bomb or the rubber, with success. 30 points to 6 final score to the Magpies, and the penalties ended up going Bears' way. 11-10, a lot of penalties in the game. 23 out of 33 their completions versus 39 out of 46. An excellent result for South Logan. So they had more possession. They made 5 line breaks to 1. Most of them in the second half because they kicked their way to tries in the first, and tackled in the opposition 37 times to 20 as well, an indication of their dominance. More stats, the errors, or there were 10 errors by Burleigh to 6. A lot more tackles made by Burleigh as well. A lot more tackles made by Burleigh. And so resounding to South Logan. David Ryder's with the man of the match.
I'm here with the man of the match, Mitch Cronin. Mitch, a wing effort today on debut, 3 tries. How's that feel, mate?
Oh, yeah, not a bad start. I just talked to the boys about just completing our set, so it was good to get some tries on kicks at the end.
Mate, I thought your second try was an absolute gem, the one through in mid-air. I mean, was that set up? Was that a play you knew was on?
Oh, yeah, called for it early because a bit of space out there, so I was just lucky to get there on the full.
What about the other ones? Were they also plays that you'd had in mind or you'd done on a nod and a wink, or did they come out of the blue?
Oh, mainly just out of the blue, but the wet weather helped the bounce of the ball, so set up nicely.
Mate, what about a little bit about your history? You're only 19 years of age. Where have you played your footy?
Mainly Colts the last 3 years, and then finally got a game today, so happy with that.
And mate, have you always been a winger?
Oh, no, I play fullback for Colts.
Okay. Well, mate, a great effort, I thought. Now, what about South Logan? Of course, a change now to their playing ranks because of no longer dual registration. Going to give a few of you young guys a good chance.
Yeah, hopefully there's not as much depth as there was, so hopefully more young boys will get a go through.
All right, mate. Well, you certainly took your chances today. Well done. Hat-trick of tries on debut. You can't do any better than that.
Nah, thanks a lot.
Down here with Nick Parfitt. Nick, congratulations today. Equal top try scorer in the Queensland Cup with 112. Must be a good feeling.
Oh, it would have been nice to get it on a win, but I suppose personally just to get a try at the end was a consolation.
You mentioned a win. There haven't been too many just recently for your team, but you thought you might have turned it around last week, but not so good today.
No, we had a good game last week against Pride. It was 25 all, and we showed good commitment and execution, but just didn't come out today with that same execution, and they just killed us with the kicks.
You mentioned the kicks there. They did have a pinpoint kicking game. It's very hard to defend those.
Yeah, I think they targeted down our short sides, and we just couldn't get back and clean them up. And like you said, they were pretty pinpoint.
They did. Normally, Burleigh have that dominant defence in the middle of the ruck. We didn't have a lot of football today, and so that sort of perhaps wasn't quite as good as it normally is.
No, I suppose we're trying to get down their right side, and we just didn't stick to our game plan there. And I think they got sniff of that and bunched up on that side, and I think they handled us pretty well down that side.
Looks a long time in footy, mate. All the best next week.
Yeah, thanks, Gavin.
Well, obviously, Nick Parfitt disappointed, although congratulations to him on scoring equally top of the all-time Queensland Cup try-scoring list. 51st minute. Guess what? Another try from a Creek. They got 4 in the first half, and there again, Ben Cronin to young brother Mitch gets his 3rd try, and beautiful little work. Grubber kick there by Ben Cronin through to Mitch, and I should say, Gav, I reckon they're going to kick me out of the front rowers union giving Wingers Man of the Match award. But didn't the kid play well?
Well, he played well. He's the opposite winger, also on debut, played well as well. You know, I just thought that they were very, very good today.
They sure were. The only try they scored from a break-in running was this one by Drury Lowe after a terrific pass there by Mark Ioane.
Yeah, Ioane does really well. Fights his way through 2 and 3 defenders, gets the arms free, gives it away to Drury Lowe. Drury Lowe has enough space to get to the corner, outflanked, outfoxed Nick Parfitt there and to get there for the try.
Yeah, 30 points at that stage. Burley then got a try in the 75th minute, a bit of a consolation effort, and it took a good break here from Bo Henry. Good back up then from Scotty Smith, and a little bit of luck with the flick pass.
Yeah, it just shows what Henry can bring to this club. First game for him, of course, and then the flick pass, and here's the try that comes up to get the 112th for Nick Parfitt and equal top.
Yeah, very impressive effort there by South Logan today. They're a very young side. Their back line is about average age of about 21. You had to be impressed with them. They beat a more experienced Burley side this afternoon, and they'll be hard to beat come the finals. Now it's back to Warren. He's got all the scoring summary.
Thanks, David Wright and Gavin Payne. And yes, it was South Logan, 30 points to 6 today. For the losers, Burley, Nick Parfitt scored the try and converted it. But for South Logan, Mitch Cronin with a hat-trick on debut. Drury Lowe, 2 tries, and Josh Damon, the other debut winger, got a try. Ben Cronin kicked to 3 from 6. They had a couple disallowed from kicks through as well. Next week, it's East taking on Tweed Heads. Join us next Saturday, ABC 1 at 2 o'clock.
The Galta Gang. They own the streets of Jaipur. Locals revere them, so they get away with heaps. They may be special, but not everyone loves them. Run with the city's biggest rascals as they eat, play, and try to outsmart their enemies. Monkey Thieves. Tonight at 7, ABC 2.
Employing technology, archaeology and old-fashioned elbow grease, Tony Robinson and the team unravel history's mysteries.
The council is beginning to give up its secrets.
Yes. That puts this place at the heart of politics in some of the most important times in our history.
And often discover more than they bargained for.
This stuff is going to throw our story back to 4000 BC.
Time teams, night 6, ABC 1.
He's one of Australia's richest men.
My strongest men outside of Mum and Dad were Aboriginal people.
Now Andrew Forrest wants to mine their land.
We understand your agreement and to be afraid with your crap, right?
So, is he offering them a fair price?
We had a proper negotiation as we're required to under the Native Title Act, and we fulfilled the letter of that law and more.
Deal or deal in the Pilbara. Four Corners, Monday at 8:30.
On ABC 1 tonight, Stephen Fry in Kingdom, a troubling cold case, new tricks, and the series final of Outcasts.
This program contains pilot guides and advice.